guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are building a treehouse, kind of sort of treehouse. You guys have already seen the thumbnail picture, but it's kind of like a treehouse it's like a house that's on a stump and then there's trees growing out of the top of it. So that's my description for this house, but I think I end up calling it a tree house. I think that's going to be what the title is because to me it does look like a tree house, but I'll let you guys decide. But yeah, I'll go on and show you guys the inspiration picture for this build. It's a really lovely picture. I think it's some artwork and it's just really beautiful, and I wanted to try and build it in The Sims. Now, this didn't go as planned, and so it doesn't really look very much like that inspiration picture, but hopefully you guys can tell that that's where I took inspiration from. Hopefully you can see where I was going with it and kind of what I was doing and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't really turn out looking like that. I feel like the inspiration picture looks very natural, and the area around the house looks very natural. And then in this build, it just looks a little bit too circular, which is the part that I'm doing right now. So I started building this on the second floor because I didn't want there to be a foundation underneath it. So I started building on the second floor and just deleted the first floor out from underneath it. I also raised it up a little bit. I feel like I should have raised it up a little bit more though, but anyway, I placed this big flooring section that you guys can see kind of in this square shape, and then I grabbed one of the circular rugs and I sized it up really big so that I could kind of outline the shape of it with this base game hedge and fence. And they're both from the debug menu, but I grabbed those because I wanted something that was kind of wide enough that I would be able to push it down with the tool mod, and it would cover up some of the edges, because when I get rid of that extra flooring, because I don't leave it as a square of course, but when I get rid of that extra flooring, I end up using the method that Kate Emerald uses a lot. That's who I learned how to do that from. But you basically kind of use the room tool to cut away those extra edges of the flooring, and that leaves you with kind of uneven, jagged edges on the flooring that you're left with. And so you kind of have to have something to cover that up. So I chose this kind of big hedge from the debug menu because I knew that I would be able to cover up those edges. And it does do that, but I feel like it just looks a little bit too uniform maybe. Maybe I should have shook it up a little bit with the shape of it because it just looks kind of unnatural, I guess, being in such a perfect circle, because that's not how nature usually works. But I hope you guys enjoy this video anyway. I feel like it's a terrible way to start a video. It's just telling you everything that's wrong with it. But I did enjoy building this, so I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And I do like it in the end. It's just not one of my favorite builds. Like, I thought I was gonna love this build, but I don't love it in the end. So it's not, it's not my favorite, but it's fine. We are building the shell of the house right now though, so you can kind of see how it turns out. I think I play with the roofing a little bit more. I had a lot of trouble with the roofing for this house. I had to cut out a lot of footage of me changing the roofing on this first little section right here. And well, it's on the back section as well because I ended up just using the same roofing options for both sides of the house. But yeah, this little area was the first one that I was working on, and it just took me a long time to figure out how I wanted that to look. And so I had to cut out a bunch of that footage because I spent way too much time on that. But it's all good. Roofing is not my favorite thing in The Sims, so it's fine. I always expect that to take a little while, so no big deal. This house has a ton of windows. As you guys can see, I got a little bit excited with the windows. I went a little bit too far. Now that I'm watching it back, I can tell that maybe I placed a little bit too many. Also, when I got into the interior, I kind of figured that out, that I just placed way too many windows. But I don't know why. I liked it, and the inspiration picture has a ton of windows, and there's all this light glowing through it, and I kind of wanted to do that, so I did it. And there is a ton of windows in this house. So as far as natural lighting goes, this house has it, this cabin. Also, I'm building in Granite Falls. I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but yeah, I'm building in the world that came with the outdoor retreat pack, so it's the vacation world. So I did build this like a vacation cabin. So there's not just a whole lot of personality on the inside, and I wasn't building it for specific Sims. So you can kind of tell that when we get to the interior, it's just kind of generic. I mean, I did decorate it. I did add a little bit of clutter and stuff like that, which I don't always do when I do vacation houses, but I did add some clutter and everything like that. But for the most part, I was building this as a vacation home, as a rental. But I did use a ton of items from Outdoor Retreat, of course, for this house because we're building in that world. But I also did use a lot of items from the Island Living pack. You can tell the roofing pattern is from Island Living, and then those little overhang roofing ledge, I don't know what you call those, awnings? Is that what you call them? I feel like this is not the first time that I've had that problem while I was doing these voiceovers. But anyway, I used those are from Island Living as well. And so I did use a good amount of the Island Living items. I feel like they look really good with this kind of rustic, natural, maybe not rustic, but natural style kind of. Yeah, I think so. I think they looked really good. I used a few things from Laundry Day also. I really like the Laundry Day pack. I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't know about actually like the gameplay and stuff. I don't know if I would actually like doing laundry in the game, but I do really like the items that came with that pack. Oh, also, I haven't told you guys, I know that since we talked last, the baby update came out and then the new pack came out, but I haven't actually played with any of that. It's been such a hectic week for me, or it feels like it anyway, and so I just haven't had a chance to get anything done. And then when I did kind of look around at what people were saying and stuff, it looked like it had kind of turned into a disaster with the EA app. I don't know about everyone, but it looked like some people were having trouble logging in, and it said they didn't have any games and all that. And so I was just like, nope, I'm not updating it right now. But yeah, I am going to. I'm just kind of behind. So I hope you guys are enjoying the new pack though. I've seen a couple builders say that it's not a very good building pack, which is a little disappointing because I was really kind of planning on getting it and now I'm not so sure. But I'll decide soon enough. I was a little disappointed to hear that, but I guess it makes sense because it is really a gameplay focused pack. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I haven't forgotten about it. I just haven't had a chance to do basically anything other than just my regular builds. And yeah, I haven't had a chance to update or anything like that. But anyway, for the base of this build, so I ended up going with the tree stump. You guys have seen it in the inspiration picture and you can see it right now. But originally I used the terrain tool to kind of raise up the middle of that area. I don't know why, it really wasn't necessary, but I did. And then I grabbed a bunch of debug plants and stuff just from various packs. And I was just kind of putting it underneath the house. I wanted it to look like vines or maybe, what does it look like in the inspiration picture? It's been a minute since I looked at it. I can't remember, but to me it looked more like vines, I guess, coming off of this hill or this area. And so I was using all these debug items, but I felt like it was getting to be too much, and you guys saw that. It was just a lot. I had so many things going on and it didn't look good. So I ended up deleting all of that, and then I grabbed this tree stump thing from the Outdoor Retreat pack. And I cannot remember right this second if this was a table or a chair. There was a couple of different items like this in this pack that were tables, like a tree stump, and I think there was a rock as well that was like a chair or a table, a side table maybe. I can't remember what this item was, but anyway, that's not important. I used that to create the base of the build and kind of look like a huge stump, which is not very realistic, but it's The Sims, it's fine. And then I grabbed this vine from the Island Living pack. It's from the debug menu. And at first I wasn't sure about it. I felt like, oh, I've already deleted all this stuff. I don't want to put too much stuff again on this area, but I feel like that vine is so necessary. I feel like it absolutely makes the bottom of this build. It helps so much with the overgrown look about it. And yeah, I'm so glad that I went with that. But then I just placed some grass and stuff around it, but I also grabbed these tree roots. I think that's what they are. I'm not 100% sure. I'm terrible at looking at the names of stuff when I'm building. I'm so sorry about that. It makes it hard to talk about later. But I think they're tree roots. Maybe some dead tree roots from the Vampires pack. I think it's in the debug menu of the Vampires pack. Not 100% sure about that either, but I feel like that's right. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I ended up sizing those up, and then I've kind of placed them underneath this area. But then when I went to playtest this build, they were actually stopping the ladder from being functional. And if you teleported your sim up here, they could still do anything they wanted to, but they just couldn't climb the ladder. So I had to go back and place those tree roots in the basement and then lift them up that way. Just in case you guys don't know about that trick, if you're ever having a whole lot of trouble with functionality with stuff like that, sometimes you can go one floor underneath where your build is, where you're working, and you can raise that item up to the same area you wanted it to be, but it doesn't mess with functionality that way. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I feel like when I'm doing these voiceovers, I feel like I'm just talking gibberish, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I did have to fix that because that was messing with the ladder, but it is fixed now, and this build is functional and it's play tested, so everything works good if you guys want to use it in your game. I'm terrible right now at getting stuff uploaded to the gallery, but I will get it uploaded at some point. But yeah, it is play tested. I will say though that when I playtest builds, I don't always playtest everything. I playtest the necessities though. But like when it comes to the coffee pot in this build, I did not make coffee. I did not playtest that. I just don't think I have the attention span to playtest all the really little things, but I do try to get the big things. One thing that I never playtest in my builds is bookshelves though. Because usually when I'm playing, if I want my Sims to read, I just manually click on the bookshelf and then drag a book into their inventory and all that. And so I never seem to remember to playtest bookshelves, but I think that they all work. I haven't had too much trouble lately when I've been playtesting. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at knowing what will mess with the functionality and what won't. And sometimes I still have to move stuff around, but I feel like I'm way more aware of it lately, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, when I say a build is functional, just know that mostly I'm talking about the necessities, like the kitchen area. Your Sims can cook, they can sleep, they can go to the bathroom, all that stuff I've checked. And I usually check computers and TVs as well, but sometimes if I get tired enough in the middle of playtesting, I will kind of stop doing that as well. But anyway, back to this build. This build ended up having 3 bedrooms total. So you guys saw that one main bedroom. That's the only one with a double bed, and it has a bathroom attached to it. Then upstairs, there's 2 more bedrooms, and there is another bathroom. It's just not attached to anything. I have this little middle section that has all the doors. I made that into a game room because I thought that would be pretty cute. Because sometimes it's very rainy in Granite Falls, in my game at least. As I was playtesting this, there was like a massive storm, and I feel like every time I'm playtesting in this world, it's raining or it's cloudy or something like that, which may be because I think I'm in the summer season right now. But anyway, I added that little game room, which I thought turned out really cute. And then I have these 2 rooms, and then one of them, the last one, is going to have 3 single beds. So it has a bunk bed, and then I put in one of the air mattresses so it can sleep 3 Sims. And then this bedroom, I ended up grabbing this little toddler's room that I made the other day for one of my YouTube short videos. It had a forest theme, and I thought, well, that's perfect. I'll just grab that and pop it into this build, and then I won't have to build the entire room. I can just add some stuff around it. It did not turn out to be that easy though, because this is one of my really tool mod heavy rooms. And so I ended up having to kind of move some stuff around. It is not perfect. It doesn't even look like it does originally, because I think I missed a piece of the bed frame, but that's fine. Everything is functional though. I didn't playtest the toddler bed. I did forget that because I didn't have a toddler in my household. But anyway, that did end up taking a minute, so that didn't really save me any time at all. I also popped the washer and dryer up in that room, and that was just because I didn't have anywhere left to put it. I had put down a few laundry baskets, so I felt like I needed to include it, but I had basically decorated the whole house up until that point, and so I had no corner left to shove it in except for in that room. So that's probably pretty unconventional to have a laundry area in a bedroom. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a weird one, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today during the speed build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're all doing really, really well, and hopefully we'll talk soon with another speed build.